Welcome back. So today I thought I would do my makeup on here. I'm gonna get ready to film a haul, so hopefully that works out for me. I'm gonna do my makeup. I think I'm gonna keep it quite neutral. There's a few things that I've gathered that are quite new that I'm going to be trying out. But I think first I'm going to put some lip oil. This is by Jouer, and I quite like it. It's very oily, very shiny, and it is a good time. Okay, so for primer, okay, my priming situation is quite tedious, I want to say. So what I do first is I go in with the Hangover primer, which I've nearly finished. It just doesn't want to end. And I also go in with my strobe cream. So what I do is I mix them on the back of my hand, and I do quite a generous amount, so kind of like that. And then I rub it together and I slap it on my face, and I bring it also underneath my eyes just to hydrate my under eyes. And also the strobe cream, I find throughout the day kind of like illuminates underneath there, and I already have quite dark circles, so, but I feel like it helps. I mean, it could just all be in my head, I don't know, but if I think it helps, it helps. That's my mentality. So I make sure I just work it in. Oh, and do you like my press-on nails? I pressed them on myself, just so we're all well aware. Okay, then the next thing I do is I go in with my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, which is that dupe for the Tatcha, the silk canvas thing. Usually I just go in and I do grab quite a lot, and I concentrate that where I've got my enlarged pores and here on my smile line, but I mainly focus that basically in the center of my face, because that's where I do have quite large pores. Like all here is fine, it's just here mainly where my pores are really big. And I'll also make sure I get into my nose, this crevice of my nose, because I feel like foundation kind of seeps in there, then cracks. Okay, so once that's on, like so, and worked in, what I then go and do is I grab a translucent powder and a brush. I don't know what brush I'm going to use today. What am I going to use? I think I might use this brush. It's a company that I don't want to really say. It starts with M. You figure it out from there. I'm just going to use this little sample translucent powder from Laura Mercier. I'm going to kind of put it in the lid, grab a bunch, and then where I put that e.l.f. primer, I'm going to set it. The reason why I do this is because I find my foundation goes on so beautifully, and also I feel like as it wears, it looks really good. Doesn't look cakey, doesn't look crusty or anything like that. Plus, I find that the e.l.f. primer is quite slippery. So I feel like once I put my foundation on top, it usually slips around and you can see kind of separation and stuff like that. That's my priming done. Sometimes I'll go in with an illuminator as well on the high points of my cheeks. Do I want to do that? I think I might do that actually. Let me do that. Okay, so for my illuminator, it's another one that I'm close to finishing, and really I'm desperate to finish. It's the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Glow highlighter illuminator thing. It looks full now because I just shook it, because you got to shake it. So I'll usually put a drop of that on, and then just with my finger, sorry about my squeaky chair, I'll just work it here on the high points. I don't feel like the powder really affects anything. So just like that, I'll just pat it with my finger. I'll put a little bit here on the center of my nose, like on the bridge. A little bit up here and a little bit up here. Not that I really should be highlighting there because my eyebrows are really quite bushy, but you know, it is what it is. We're still in lockdown. Okay, so foundation. For foundation, I love to mix my foundations. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. It's just, it just works. So my favorite current combination is actually they're both drugstore foundations, which is great. So it's the Maybelline Dream Satin Liquid and the Revlon Photo Ready Candid Foundation. So these two, you can see I've pretty much used a heck of a lot of this one, but I use these two mixed together. I usually do a pump of each to begin with, and I'll usually just use my finger to mix them together, and then I'll dab it on my face like so. And then I've really been loving using foundation brushes. This brush in particular, it's by e.l.f. It's the 103 brush. It's just the perfect brush. I love it. So what I do is I just, like a beauty blender, I just pounce it on. I don't swipe, I don't, you know, none of that kind of stuff. I just pat the foundation in. And I do that because I don't want to disrupt all the powder and primers and stuff like that I've just put underneath. So you know how we put the e.l.f. primer and then we set that particular primer? Well, I don't want to move it around, right? I don't want it to go everywhere and separate. So I will just pat this all around, and then I'll go in with some more because I still have more on the back of my hand. I'll just place it with my finger, and I'll usually put a little bit extra here in the center, and then again I will just pat that in. And I don't know, man, I just feel like my pores just literally disappear. Man, my eyebrows are horrible. Now for concealer. I don't really have a current fave. I'm trying to work through the Born This Way concealer. It's lasting honestly forever, but I'll just go on with this one. This one is in the shade Vanilla, and I'll put it here. I'll put a little bit down the bridge of my nose as well, like so. Then, just as a little bit of brightness, I recently opened, because I bought some e.l.f. stuff quite a while ago, and I didn't open the concealers because I've been trying to get through the concealers I already have. But I opened up the e.l.f. 16-hour Cameo Concealer, and I've really been enjoying it. It's quite thick, really full coverage, so I'm not going to put a lot, but I just want to put just here, down like the side of my nose, and just a little bit up here, and here, and here. I kind of really want to be full glam. Again, tap that out with my brush, my foundation brush. Again, not swiping, just patting away. I really want it to stay where I've placed it. I'll go in with the same brush underneath my eyes, and I'll be sure to, again, tap. And I'm also going to tap that on my lids too, just to kind of cancel out my darkness, or else it's going to completely throw me off. Next, what I like to do is I like to go in with a cream bronzer, cream contour, cream blush, and then I will go in later with some powder. But for my bronzer, I don't feel like contouring today. For my bronzer, I'm going to go in with the Nude Sticks Bondi Bay, which looks like this. And I take that on my e.l.f. 105 brush. It's got, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, if it will focus. It's got like these little bristles that pop out. So what I do is I just go in like this, just pat it into the product, really work it in on the brush, and then I'll go in here on my temple, and I'll go up to my forehead. Again, you'll see I'm patting, and not swiping. I don't want to disrupt the foundation underneath. And I'll just work that in like so. I try and keep this quite high up to lift my face. I don't want it to really sag down. So I'll always try and keep it quite high. And I love doing it here because I feel like when I do my eyeshadows and stuff like that, it just marries together quite well. So I'll just concentrate that there, pat it out. If you have any harsh lines, because it's cream, you can just take the brush that you used your foundation with and you can just pat over where you feel like it's a bit too harsh. That seems okay to me at the moment, so I'll just leave it at that. But I'll do the same on the other eye. And again, making sure that I just, you know, pat it up and onto my cheeks. So you'll see that I'm concentrating it here first, right on, is that really the temple? Let's just say that the outer corner of my eye. And then I'll go down here onto the cheeks and up again. And I can see right here, it's a bit too harsh. So I'll go in with my brush, my foundation brush, and I'll just tap that out like that. Usually I'll go in with a cream blush, but I have two blushes I want to try out and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do on the eye. So what I'll do is I'll set my face now and then I'll come back to the rest of my face. Did that make sense? I don't know. So I'm just going to go in with my Laura Mercier powder, translucent powder. I'm going to make sure that I don't have a heck of a lot of creasing under here. So I'm just making sure I've got no creases, and then just with the same brush that I used before, I'm just going to set underneath my eyes. Then for the rest of my face, I'm going to use my Cover FX Pressed Mineral Foundation. And this is in the color G50. It's a little bit too dark for me, but it is what it is. Just on a big massive face brush. This is, I think, by BH. Yeah, it is BH Cosmetics #1 brush. I just like that, and then I pat it in to the rest of my face. I've also hit pan on this too. And because this provides coverage as well, I just try and do a light layer. It might look like I'm doing quite a bit, but trust me, it's a light layer. Okay, so we'll leave it like that for now. I'm gonna move on to the eyes. So I want to kind of keep it quite neutral. Okay, I think I might go in with my Melt Stack because I haven't used that in a while. Don't think I want to prime my eyes. Usually I prime my eyes with my P. Louise base, but I think today I might use a colored base, like a pencil or something like that. Actually, I haven't used my MAC paint pots in a while. I think I might go in with MAC Constructivistus. It's this one right here. It's just a really nice pretty brown. So I'll just grab a fluffy dense shadow brush and I'll put some product on the very tip, and then I will just place that onto my eyeballs. I'm going to keep it quite low because by the time I blend this out, it's going to go quite high up. So kind of just above my crease. Then I'll go in with a blending brush. I think I just might use this brush by BH, the #9 brush. And once again, I'm just going to use patting motions to blend that because it is a cream, and I feel like when I go in with my normal technique of blending, it usually goes quite high up, and I don't want it to go quite high up today, so I'm just going to pat it out. Use my finger as well. I'll also bring a little bit of that underneath here. So with this Melt Stack, I think what I might do is I might go in with Unseen first, which is this very pretty brown color. I'm going to take it on a big fluffy brush. This is the BH #1 brush, and I'm going to just coat the brush in that, the very tip of that. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to any excess, and then I'm just going to work that up here into my crease. So So this is going to be my transition. Now I know I've said this before, when I use my neutral colours I like to use a different technique. I don't know, I just feel like it works out to be heaps better. So you'll see I'm doing big circular blending motions, and I'm really going to take this out here as well, and I'm going to make sure that it's really blown out. And then I'll also run this underneath, and I like a really smoky lower lash line. Okay, so I realized that the melt stack that I have doesn't have a brown, it has a burgundy and a black and a mustard color, but I'm looking for a brown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my P. Louise palette, which is I think the original one that she came out with. It looks like that. I'm going to use Latte, and I haven't used this palette in a while, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to take Latte and I'm going to start building up the crease. So I'm just going to place that in there, focusing it more on the outer corner, like right out here, but I'm also going to bring that in as well. But I want the most intensity out here in the outer corner. And then what I'll do is I'll go in with that Melt shade, and then I will use that to soften the edges out here. I'm going to turn this look quite grungy as well. And you'll see as well I'm taking that Latte shade underneath my eyes. Next I'm going to take the shade Bestie. This shade right here looks like a plummy brownie shade, but I'm hoping that it'll look different up against that base that we put on. I'm going to use a flat brush and I'm going to pat that all over my lid. It's like a cool tone brown, really working it into that base, that MAC base that we put down. I'm going to grab a smaller blending brush and then go in with Latte. And I'm just going to use Latte to blend out that harsh line that we have going on there. Just really gently. And actually what I might do is I might mix the two. So Bestie and Latte, I'm going to mix them. I'm going to hold my brush perpendicular. And I'm really just going to wiggle that into the crease to blend that out. And I'm also going to mix those two shades and plop it underneath my lower lashes, and then I'm just going to keep blending until I'm quite happy with the blend. Okay, so once I've got something looking like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Dark Matter, which is a black, and I'm going to use an angled liner brush. I'm just going to put my brush in there. I'm not going to wet my brush or anything like that. I'm just going to put it on the brush, and then I'm going to focus it right here on my upper lash line. Again, patting it in, and I'm not going to wing it out. I'm just going to try and get as much darkness right there on the lash line as I can. And I'll also bring that just a little bit really close to my lower lashes, but I'm going to focus it more on the outer portion of my eye. And then I'm going to go back in with Bestie, and I'm just going to pat over that just to help blend the two shades together like that. See how there's a lot of darkness there compared to this eye? So that's what we're going for. Alright, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some black on my waterline. I'm just going to go in with the Zoeva, what's it called? Black to Earth pencil. The graphic liner one. You're not meant to really put them in your waterline, but YOLO. So I'm going to work that in. I'm also going to tightline. I'm just tightlining the outer corner. Okay, so I've got the lashes on. I feel like they're a bit too big, but that's fine. Who cares? It is what it is. I actually don't know what they are, to be honest. They're just sitting in this, and it's got no name. Okay, so I'm going to move on to my eyebrows. Now, because my eyebrows are quite bushy at the moment, I'm just going to brush them out. No, I don't think I'm going to do anything, but I am going to put in some fiber gel. Now, I recently got this from MAC. It's in the shade Stud, and it's the Big Boost Fiber Gel. I've used it twice, and I quite enjoy it. I'm going to focus it more on here, like the outer portion. Now it really covers all the hairs that I have here, which I mean can go one of two ways for me at the moment, but I'm just going to brush it here on the outer ends of my eyebrows, and you can see where I had that gap, it's now filled, and that's the brows done. Now for my cheeks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bronze. Now for bronzer, I think I'm going to use the Hoola bronzer from this Benefit palette, and I'm just going to place my brush in there, and I'm going to do some big circular motions, and I'm going to again concentrate right here, connect it to the eyeshadow so it all just marries really well with one another. Okay, and then I'm going to bring it here. Again, I'm going to make sure I use this bronzer quite high up on my cheeks to really lift my face up. You know, as you get older, everything sags. And I'm not ready to come to terms with that right at this minute. I've got these two MAC blushes. The Glow Play blush. They look like this. Very nice packaging. I don't know which colour I'm going to go in with. So this shade here is called Groovy. And then this one is called Cheeky Devil. Now, I actually don't know if these are creams or powders, so we're going to find out together. Oh, they just love to come out. Oh, I really like the packaging. It's like a frosty, frosty plastic kind of thing. Oh, I want to say, it's like a putty. See? Okay. So, am I going to be able to use a brush? Oof, look at that colour. I think this will look good. Okay, I'm just going to use the same brush. I'm going to see how it goes. I'm just going to see if I can get it on my brush here. I mean, I think it seems to be picking up a little bit. Let me see. Ooh. It's a really nice colour. It looks really bright in the pan, but I mean it's not. Am I playing games or? Wait, hold on. Let me just. I was using the same brush that I used the bronzer with. Let me just change it. Maybe I'm just hallucinating the colour on there. Oh no. I mean, it's picking up. It's fine. Let me see. Yeah, no. My eyes weren't playing tricks. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to bring it like here on the bridge of my nose as well. So I want to say it's like a cream to powder ratio. A cream to powder ratio? Cream to powder. You know how the putties are kind of like that? They're a bit creamy in texture. I really like that. I really like that. I love the colour. That was Groovy I used. I'm going to use Cheeky Devil in another look. But I really like that. Comment below what you think, if you like it. I like it. Yeah, so for highlighter, I'm going to get my big ass fan brush. I think I'm going to use my Mecca highlighter. This is the Enlighten powder by Mecca. This is their own brand. And I'm just going to put it in the middle of the brush like that. And then what I do is I flick it while being on the highest points of my cheeks, and it just does the work for you. It's just so effortless, and the brush is just incredible. I think I got this from Crown Brushes like years and years ago, and this is what I use it for. And like, look at that, there's no harsh lines. It's just beautiful, like a nice dewy finish. If you can get your hands on this, I highly recommend. It gives you the perfect like wet look, you know. Okay, so final step is my lips. Lo and behold, I'm gonna do something extraordinary. I'm gonna do a nude. I'm going to use this Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Conspiracy. I want to do a harsh line. I really want to outline my lips, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to first give my pencil a bit of a sharpen. Okay, so my pencil's nice and sharp. I'm going to do a quite 90s lip. I'm gonna try and overdraw just like the center of my lips and then keep everything else quite true to my lip line. Gives me that little pouty look. Really don't be afraid to hold your pencils in like weird awkward positions, because I find it really helps to get into like the corners and stuff like that. So that's the outline that I've got. I might use this Melt Cosmetics lipstick. It's in the shade Voyage. And this one I'm just going to pat in the center here. Again, I'm really trying to keep this lip quite 90s. Oh, I love that. That's the makeup. I love it. It's so me. 90s lip, grungy eyes, perfecto. If you try the primer hack thing, I mean, it's not really a hack. I mean, everyone, well, people do it. But if you do try it and you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know too. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. If you like, until the next one, I'll see you guys later. Okay, thanks so much, bye.